Hello folks, TFG and Mike here. Before we get into the interview with Britta Phillips, I just want to let everyone know we recorded this before we recorded episode 23 of Showtime Synergy, which is the truly outrageous top 30 gem countdown. So in this interview, I do say to her we're going to be recording the countdown when essentially we've already recorded it and released it. The reason why the Britta Phillips interview is so late is because she wanted it to coincide with her announcement of her new album, which we have details about later in the interview. So that's why you're going to hear something about the countdown, which the countdown's already out. Anyway, Britta Phillips, singing the voice of Gem, truly outrageous. TFG and Mike, talk to you later.
Britta Phillips here, and you are listening to Showtime Synergy with Mike, Amy, and Nicole.
Me and my friends are Gem Girls. Gem is my name. Exciting adventure, fashion, and fame. Once you're a Gem Girl, you're never the same. Come on and be a Gem Girl. Gem is my name. Me and my friends are Gem Girls. Gem is my name. Truly outrageous, that's a Gem Girl. Glamour, fashion, and fame. Exciting adventure, fashion, and fame. Once you're a Gem Girl, you're never the same. Come on and be a Gem Girl. Gem is my name.
Hello and welcome to Showtime Synergy. I am one of your hosts, TFG and Mike. Joining me is Lady Rec. Hello.
Hello.
And Nicole, Beatles, Diva, Hailstorm. How many names do you have now?
I go by many names.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, you. She'll answer by it.
Yeah.
Hey, you in the green wig.
My wigs change often.
Yes, they do. So in this latest Showtime Synergy interview, we welcome for the first time ever on the Geekcaster Network the singing voice of Gem. We had the speaking voice earlier. Oh, man. I almost said later this year. Earlier last year. But we welcome the singing voice of Gem, Britta Phillips. Yay!
Yay! Hi! Thank you! Hello.
How are you, Britta?
I'm great.
That's
I'm
awesome.
glad to be here.
We are glad to have you. Before we get started, is there anything that you can give us the scoop on and what's going on in the world of Britta Phillips? Any upcoming projects that you can reveal?
Well, I can reveal the main thing is that I've just done a solo album. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
Yes, absolutely.
I knew. So I've just done a solo album. I can't tell you when it's going to be released because I have to wait till the end of the month to talk about that.
Oh.
But so that's the main thing. And what else? I have a vinyl 7-inch split single with my husband Dean that's out on the Great Pop Supplement. And the other thing that's out right now that we've just worked on together is the score for this movie, Mistress America.
I've been listening to that through
Oh,
iTunes.
cool. Oh, cool.
That's got some good stuff on it.
Yeah.
You guys have done several other soundtracks. Well, you
Yeah.
did the Squid and the Whale. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was really good as well. So
Totally different. Yeah. That
Yeah.
was like super mellow and sparse, and this is like bubbling 80s pop. Yeah.
Yeah. So how does your husband feel about you doing a solo album, though?
Oh, great. He did one a year ago.
Oh.
So yeah, it's my turn.
Yay!
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
He plays on it as well as I played on
Oh,
his.
good.
It's still both of us. It's just I'm
It's just
doing
your
all the
soul.
singing and I wrote.
Yeah, you're doing all the singing.
Yeah.
All right, so where did you grow up?
I grew up in Pennsylvania, kind of all over the east coast of Pennsylvania, Bucks County to the Poconos to Philly. Yeah.
Awesome. So you're used to the East Coast weather.
Oh, yeah. Although I'm quickly forgetting about it because I've been in LA for almost 3 years.
Yeah, that'll happen when you. Yeah.
But I still go on tour, so I travel. I get hit with cold.
It's not fun. I'm in the
Yeah,
cold
no.
right now. It's not fun.
No, I don't miss it at all. I even get cold in LA, which is ridiculous. So,
You're climatized.
yeah, becoming a hothouse flower.
So, what got you interested in singing? Where did it all start?
It all started at home with my mom and my sister. My mom sang and played piano and guitar, and we were always just learning songs together and singing and three-part harmony and stuff like that. So, and I was in the
And it just
chorus in school. Yeah, so I always sang. I didn't know I could sing really high and loud though until I started driving.
nice.
And I was like, whoa, because I was pretty shy. But in the car, I was like, okay, I want to be a singer. So,
That's where it all started.
yeah, in the
Car.
car, alone.
What kind of car did you drive?
I had a VW Bug.
Oh my
Six-
gosh, Mom, was my first car.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a 68 Robin's Egg Blue VW Bug. It was adorable. Until
Oh,
I
that's sweet.
I blew it up though, because nobody told me I had to change the oil or add oil.
Oh no.
Oh
So
no.
it just burst into flames one day.
She blew up Shattered Glass Bumblebee.
Yeah, I had a 64 Super Beetle. Bright
Oh,
yellow. I loved it.
nice.
Love that
Nice.
So
car.
cool.
So,
Yeah.
so who were some of your influences growing up, music wise?
Growing up, wow, let me think for a sec. So many. Like I grew up on just AM radio, pop, so Elton John, Captain and Tennille.
Right.
And
There's
and
nothing wrong
then
with Muskrat Love, really.
I didn't love that one. Didn't love that one. I just liked the first single. But yeah, Motown and but then as a teenager that all changed. I was into just rock, classic rock and disco. Donna Summer, um, Saturday Night Fever,
Nice.
and and then Blondie, of course. Blondie was
Oh,
was
cool.
a big one.
Love
Yeah,
Blonde.
and then Madonna. So
Awesome.
Donna's amazing too. Good 80s stuff.
yeah, all the obvious big stuff. Michael Jackson, Prince.
So, why did you start playing guitar? What was that? Why was that your instrument of choice?
I didn't really know how to play guitar until I was in this movie Satisfaction, which
Oh,
happened like the last year of the last year of Gem. I got a part in this movie, and they gave me the guitar lessons. So I had to learn how to play Satisfaction.
oh,
and
cool.
some
So that
others
was your
and
first.
some other songs. I mean, I kind of played a little bit, but not much. Yeah. And then
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's such an awesome start, though. That's to know that's
It
where you
sounds very
learned,
glamorous.
and to have that as your first song. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
So getting into the cartoon here for Gem and the Holograms. Take it away, Amy.
Oh yeah. How did you become the singing voice of Gem?
Well, my dad was a musician. He's a session
Mhm.
player. He played piano, and he'd done a session and heard his friend who wrote music for commercials and stuff heard about this show where they were looking for a young singer who was not, like a session singer. They wanted a
Mhm.
young rock singer. And it's funny because my dad is really shy and not pushy, but he was like, shoved them my demo cassette in my little headshot and was like, this is my daughter. Sounds like she might be good. So yeah, they gave me a call and I auditioned. And then, as I always say, my audition ended up being the theme song.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, I heard that before. And weren't you sick that day?
Yes, I had a cold.
Oh, God.
But I kind of like the way it sounds when people have colds when they sing. It has a different tone. But that's what I always hear when I hear the theme song. It's just slight congestion.
Oh no.
I think it sounds amazing. So.
Yeah, it's good. It
I
all
loved
worked
it.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
It's
that's
good.
good though. Even though you had a cold, that it still carried really well. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It
Some
all
people
worked
get
out.
colds and just they can't sing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm lucky. Kind of my voice doesn't really quit, so that's lucky.
That's
Not
awesome.
yet.
You are
Not so
lucky.
far.
So, when you were recording for Gem, was there a recording session that particularly stands out as a favorite or a session from hell?
I didn't have any hell sessions, really. I was
Well, that's good.
always so excited and that because I was being hired as a young person to be hired as a singer after I'd moved to New York City to become a singer. It's like a dream. So, um, just once the only difficult parts once in a while were hitting those really high notes. And once they realized I could belt out high notes, they were just forever seeing how high I could go.
They were
It's like,
testing your limits, huh?
let's see, can she hit a high G and high A? And
Oh wow, that's getting up there.
yeah,
Yeah.
so yes, I would, they would just pep talk me and I'd take some water and they'd tell me to bend over and let all the blood rush to my vocal cords and there was it was like, athletic training to hit those
Well,
super high.
yeah, I've done some vocal training before too. Some of the if people would see the behind the scenes of what you had to do to warm up and stuff, it's kind of like a scene from like a horror film, you know?
Oh, the sounds one
Yeah,
must make.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're going to be recording one of our episodes. It's going to be our favorite gem songs from the show. Can you mention what some of your favorites were to record?
Well, the ones that just stand out to me over time are like only the beginning, because that was in the beginning. That was probably like when She's Got the Power. Those were really exciting
I love
Hmm.
early ones. Like a Dream, Only Me and the Music.
Mm-hmm.
They have some high
Nice.
notes in them, those.
That's good.
Yeah. There's probably more. I mean, there are a lot of really fun songs to sing, but
I know I catch
yeah,
myself singing some of them too.
yeah.
Yeah, as a running gag on this show, and it's all Amy's fault actually.
It's my
Everything's
fault?
Amy's fault.
Everything's either Amy or Nicole's fault most of the
Hey.
time. Most of the time, it is.
Never Mike's
Because
fault.
let's
Ever.
face it, you are the misfits. But when we got to the episode "Hot Time in Hawaii," Amy just kept singing that song over and over again. And obviously, that isn't one of yours. That's one of the Misfits songs.
Okay. I don't
But we
remember.
always reference "Hot
Misfits in
Time
Hawaii.
in Hawaii," Misfits in Hawaii.
It's really catchy. What can I say?
That song.
How does it go? Hot time
Misfits
in
in Hawaii.
No.
No, don't even start.
Well,
That's
there
pretty
was
funny.
a lot of talented musicians on the show. Did you ever play with them after the show ended?
No, in fact, the only musician I ever saw who played on the show was my dad. He played on
Oh,
everything, but I was not at the recording sessions. I mean, sometimes I probably came in and on a session he was doing, but at the end maybe. But yeah, everything's very separate.
so
They
you
just
didn't stay
had
in touch with any of the cast afterwards?
I never I mean, I would run into the Misfit the same women who sang the Misfits also sang the holograms. um and I would run into Ellen who is Pizzazz, her voice, because I know her and Anne, but the others I never saw after.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
which is a different reality than what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
And they were like
Breaking
they
down
were
those walls.
older. They were older than I was, so I didn't really. It was like, yeah, I don't want to hang. I was like 20 and just behaving badly and going out and getting drunk all night. So I'm sure we were not really in the same worlds.
Well, in that vein, what memorable experiences do you have working on Gem? Because it sounds like to me that yours were completely different than other individuals. Yours was very unique.
Yeah, I mean, mine was just solo. I was always alone with Anne and Ford. And they would, I don't know if I have anyone, like, I just, uh, all I can say is that really, I just remember going in, they would sing me the song on the piano, and then we'd have fun recording it, and would just bang it out in like an hour for a song, if at most.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, did you ever have a feeling while working on it that it was be as big as that it came out to be?
No, no way. I mean, there were some articles that came out in the paper. My dad would always send them to me, saying about Jem, oh, if Jem were a singer, she'd be a platinum selling. And so I knew the show was doing well.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, compared to how it's been in my life, since then, I had no idea. I just thought it would come and go, and I never thought about these kids who are watching it growing up and remembering it or caring, So that's amazing.
We were those kids.
Yes.
Yeah, we were.
So cool. Because I mean,
We're not alone.
the only kids I saw then, I had a little brother who was like 5, and so when I would visit him and his little friends were around, they just thought I was super cool, and that was my only taste of it back then. But I just didn't imagine people would remember or think about it after they'd grown up, and that's really cool.
Awesome.
What was the recording schedule like for Jim? Did you guys do the whole season together, or was it a week-to-week recording, or how did the song recordings end up going?
It seemed like they would just get the scripts in, and so that they knew what was going on in the show and the lyrics, and this is Anne Bryan and Ford Kinder, and then they'd write the music. So I seem to remember it being like every week or every couple of weeks. So it was definitely spread out while they were in real time, not all at once. And
So
then
when
we
you
did
got
the
all
music.
of
Hmm.
Go ahead.
No,
Go
no,
ahead,
then
sorry.
we would record the songs, and then they'd send it to, uh, well, maybe they were doing the voices and the songs at the same time. All the music was in New York, and the acting was in LA, and then they'd send that off to be animated last.
Gotcha. So when you would get together, like with all of the cast, like say that because there were several songs where we had the Misfits and the Stingers. So when you got all together, what were the recording sessions like, or did you only because like later on in the show you had a group of people like when you'd sing together you'd have all of them together. So I'm wondering, would you record those tracks separate or together?
I think I only sang with the group once because and that was like at the end of the sessions. I know it's so
Oh.
sad. I'm so sorry to break
Oh
it
no,
to
it's
you.
okay.
Oh, no worries.
This
But
is
we weren't-
fantastic. I'm asking questions for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so they do that often with animated stuff. They just record everybody separately so they can control the voice mixes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I never met the Stingers.
Ah,
Oh yeah, it's I did meet the Misfits, but that was it.
so you were like you said, you were really young when you worked on Gem. How did working on Gem influence the rest of your future career?
Oh, well, it gave me a lot of experience. I mean, that was probably the most important, like just having to be professional and confident in the studio. That really that experience is really that gave me the confidence to continue.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you have your dad to thank for it. I think that's just so cool.
Yeah.
Your dad's the one that pushed it.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah. He did, and that's really not his character either. So he was just like he really put it out there.
Well,
All
but
right.
your dad. I mean, your dad though. Was he an in-studio musician? Did you say?
Yeah, I
Or
mean he started out as a jazz musician. He played on a Herbie Hancock album,
oh,
and
nice.
yeah, he played like bass trombone jazz, and then he switched to piano and did Jesus Christ Superstar on Broadway and did a lot of Broadway stuff, and then ended up doing commercial sessions. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
That's
That's great.
awesome.
yeah.
Very cool. So last year, IDW launched the first ever ongoing Gem comic. Now I know you teamed up with Samantha Newark to do a signing for it. What was that like, and have you read the comic at all?
I haven't read the comic because they were supposed to let me have one, and they forgot to put my extra one in there. So I went and signed all
Ah!
of them and sent them off, and never got to read it. But I did read a great article about it in the New Yorker. Did you read that? It was like a really awesome
Oh,
review.
no, I haven't read that.
Must have missed
That
that
was
one.
the New Yorker
Yeah, I
Online.
missed
Yeah.
that.
So
Check
I'm
that out.
excited to read it because it sounds great.
Oh, it's an awesome, awesome
Yeah.
comic.
I've mostly read reviews of the comic in comic circles, but not the New Yorker. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. So
See
I'm
if I can find
excited
it if
to
it's
read that.
online.
I'll buy one.
Well, the first trade is out now. The Showtime trade that collects the first 6 issues is out now, and I
Yep.
think the next trade will probably be 7 to 10, um, as far as I know. So let's go behind the scenes, Amy.
You've done some voice acting. Do you have any upcoming projects?
Voice acting projects? No,
Yeah.
I'm afraid. I wish I did. I love doing those. The Moral Oral and Mary Shelley's Frankenhole are the two that I've done on Adult Swim.
Moral
Mhm.
Oral is hilarious.
Yes, I
Oh
love
my
that
god.
show. I love it so much. It's
It's
so
such it's
crazy.
so different when you first watch it. You're just like, what? But I love it. It's funny.
Yeah, it's super funny. And then, I don't know if you got to season 3, but season 3 gets pretty dark and real.
I've got some parts, but yes, that's true.
It gets like the guy is a friend of mine who created the show, Dino, and like by season 3 he was trying to do a Cassavetes movie and stop animation. It was just nuts. But that we actually for those shows we all read together around a table,
Uh-huh.
which is like unheard of for animation or stop animation shows because everyone don't ever want anyone talking over each other. But it was so much fun because really you cry to stop from laughing so that you don't laugh all over somebody's lines. But it's just the most fun. Yeah.
And you said the creator's your friend.
Nice.
How did he come up with that show?
He
You know?
told me this show was originally a TV show he wrote for Iggy Pop to be in.
Oh,
And
okay.
and Iggy Pop was going to be like this adult who was a kid somehow. I can't remember exactly. But then he met with Iggy in New York City, and Iggy he was very flattered, but just not really into it.
Oh,
So
dang it.
he held on to it, and then he just rewrote it with this the Christianity, which becomes all of it really, and did it as stop animation. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, you play both guitar and bass. Now, which do you prefer?
Oh, bass. I'm a bass player now. I'm not really a guitar player. I mean, I do play some guitar on my album, but I'm not as comfortable or confident on that instrument as bass now. I've been playing bass now since the 90s, so that's my main instrument.
Oh, cool. And of
Yeah.
which of your songs that you have written or performed would you say has the most meaning to you?
Ooh. Well,
Because
I
you've been
would
in a lot of different bands and you're working with your husband. Now you got a solo.
Yeah, I would
album.
have to say I haven't performed it live yet, but I have to say one of the songs one of my original songs on my solo album. Probably.
I cannot wait for this. You say talk about it at the end of the month, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll
Awesome.
all,
Maybe I'll just
it's all
hold on to the
coming out.
interview until the end of the month, and you can just tell us now anyway.
You promise? If you can wait to air this till, the 27th, I can tell you.
We usually do it on Fridays, but that'll be the 29th.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah, or the Friday, whatever. Friday's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah?
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, do tell.
Okay, so yeah, I have this album and it's called Luck or Magic, and it's going to be released April 29th, and I'm so excited.
Oh my
So
gosh.
Nice.
I'm announcing in January 27th, and I'll release a song just like for streaming, and if anyone wants to pre-order the album, they get the song, and then I'll put the video out there a week or so later, and then probably another song for radio single. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
nice.
Nice. Oh, it's
How
exciting.
many total tracks are going to be
Oh,
on
there
the
are
album?
10 tracks, and there are 5 original songs that I wrote and 5 covers.
What are the covers?
Well, there are 2.
Only the beginning.
I'm covering the song "Drive" by the Cars
Oh,
Ah,
Oh,
nice.
sweet.
and
Awesome.
"Landslide" by Fleetwood Mac. These are
Oh,
both
Oh, cool.
songs that were suggested to me by my producer at the time, like that I never would have thought to do because they're so huge.
yeah.
But they came out great. And the other 3 are pretty obscure. One's called One Fine Summer Morning by Evie Sands, and that's from like 1969. And one is Fallen in Love by Dennis Wilson of the
Okay.
Beach Boys.
Nice.
And what's the last one? Oh, Wrap Your Arms Around Me was Agneta from ABBA's on her first solo English language solo album in 1983. So
Oh, that's gonna be great.
a friend of
I'm
mine had
excited.
suggested that. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Look forward to listening to
And
that.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a bunch of videos too. I mean, I'm hoping to have at least like 5 or 6 videos. So that'll be cool.
Awesome.
Where would you premiere the videos at? Are they gonna be on YouTube or?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first one will probably come out. I'll just do an exclusive release. I don't know. We'll see if we can get somebody big to host that, like NPR or the New York Times or something. I don't know.
That's gonna be cool.
Too bad TRL isn't still relevant.
Oh,
Total Request Live with
Yeah.
Carson Daly.
Yeah, dang it.
oh wow.
Will
we
you
were
be
just-
doing any tours? Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna do some live performances. I'm definitely gonna like have 3 or 4 songs that I'll perform either in stores or radio, and
Nice.
locally here and up the West Coast probably. And I also want to open some shows for Luna. So when Luna does some more shows next year,
Oh,
I'll just.
so you're getting back together with Luna?
Yeah, actually, Luna's been together since last March.
Oh.
We started our 10-year reunion in March,
Oh,
and we did
I
a
didn't know
whole
this.
tour of the country in Spain and the UK and yeah, and
Because I
Australia.
thought your last album was 2012. Was it 2012? No.
The last Luna
Yeah.
album was 2005.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
we had a 10-year hiatus. Maybe you're thinking of my husband's album, Dean's album.
Maybe that's what I think of.
Yeah. It sounds very Luna, his album. So, yeah, we've been doing Luna tours, and that's been really exciting. We just played New Year's Eve in San Francisco and Oakland.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
great.
Have you ever been Have you
Go ahead.
ever been able to meet or work with any of your musical influences? Like any of the ones that you named earlier before?
I've never met Madonna.
Yeah.
Oh, but I did meet Deborah Harry because she was in Satisfaction.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
How cool
Yeah.
is that?
I know.
That woman
And
is awesome.
she is so cool and just amazing, beautiful, and down to earth and really funny. I mean, I hardly could speak to her, but we were in a group, so I just stared at her but she's very cool.
I probably would have done the same thing. Be like, oh, you know who you are?
Sounds like the fan thing to do. Yeah.
And the same thing, like when I met Lou Reed and Laurie Anderson, I couldn't really speak, but my husband knows him a bit, so I just stood around and stared at him while they chatted. He came to a show because we did this Warhol screen test show where we performed with Andy Warhol's screen tests from the mid '60s, and Lou Reed was one of them. So he came to our show at the Lincoln Center, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Who else? I met Keith Richards once.
Oh, cool.
That was pretty cool.
Cool.
I was actually for like 5 minutes. I was in a band with Steve Jordan, who produced his solo album. And Steve Jordan's a drummer, and he took me up to the studio to meet Keith in like 1988 when he was working on his first solo album. And he showed me some open tuning guitar chords.
Oh, so you actually got a lesson from him? How cool.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool, and he was very cool. I'm trying to think. There are probably more, but I can't. Yeah.
Well, I have an odd question for you.
Sure.
So, have you
Nicole's
named?
very odd.
Yeah. Have you named any of your instruments?
Have I named any of them? No,
Yeah.
but I should. I love them like people.
Yeah, like Phoebe had Lucille, you know.
Oh, yeah, no. I have this white Mustang guitar, bass guitar of mine. It's just my favorite. I should name her.
Yeah, for sure. And one last really odd question for me. Nothing to do with whatever we talked about. But it's one
Okay.
of those questions. If you could have a melee weapon of your choice, what would it be?
A what?
A melee weapon, a hand weapon.
Oh, a hand weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, not like a gun, like a.
Like a mace or sword.
Oh,
Knife.
oh yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
an
Okay,
axe.
I see.
Yeah.
Or a hook.
Let me think.
We apologize for Nicole.
Yeah.
I think probably a long sword.
There you go.
Yeah,
Awesome. It's the classic.
yeah. Because I have shorter arms. I need a long sword.
Okay. Would you like to inform the fans of where they can interact with you online?
Oh, yeah. I'm on Twitter at Britta Phillips. And I have a website that's bare bones right now, but all will be revealed soon. It's brittaphillips.com. I'm on Facebook too, Britta Phillips NYC, which I know I'm in LA now, but we haven't changed that.
All right. We would like to thank Ms. Phillips for taking the time to chat with us here in this Showtime Synergy interview. We will ask you to hold the line. We'll be back after this.
This is Britta Phillips, the singing voice of Gem, and you're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network.
All right, folks, we just spent the last 30 or so minutes talking with the singing voice of Gem, Britta Phillips, and now what you didn't hear, because I had her do it off air, is Britta singing an a cappella version, a few lines from Gem and Holograms, Only the Beginning.
Wow, look around at the sight and the sound. Did it take you by surprise that you can't believe your eyes? Whoa, well, this is only the beginning, only the beginning, only the. Oh, shit.
All right, we are back here on the Showtime Synergy interview of Miss Britta Phillips, and we've wrapped the interview. We got an a cappella version of Only the Beginning, and yeah, that was awesome.
Oh my gosh, that was like so cool. I wish
'Cause I
you
didn't
had.
even tell you guys. I didn't even tell you I was going to ask her to do that.
I wish you had video because man, I don't think my smile could get any. It was like
Oh yeah.
my inner 8-year-old was just sitting there in awe, like, oh my gosh, she's singing to me. Ah!
Yeah, no,
That
that
was
was
awesome.
super,
That was awesome.
super awesome. So yeah, folks, that's the interview with Britta Phillips. Coming up next, it's going to be 1 or 2 episodes. I'm not sure which one yet. It's going to be not 1 or 2, one of 2. It's either going to be our top 30 truly outrageous countdown, or it's going to be the Valentine's Day special for the comic. So it might be either or, and then obviously after that we'll do the movie. Sometime after March will be Dark Gem Part 1 for the comic, and then probably after Dark Gem Part 1 we'll do the finale, and we'll, like I've said already before in many episodes so far in Showtime Synergy, we'll obviously still do the comic afterwards, but the overall episode 25 finale, where we reveal all the feedback and everything else, and we do our revisit of certain episodes. Oh, God, that's going to be so scary. We're all going to China, people. So,
You don't have to.
well, have to. That's true. So there you go, folks. The interview with Britta Phillips. I didn't mention this in the actual interview with her, but she is actually the first interview for the GCRN for 2016.
Nice.
I've got a bunch of other people lined up, and hopefully at some point this year we will be able to get Patricia Alice Albright, the voice of Pizzazz. I'm hoping to get Charlie Adler, Eric Raymond, obviously, and a couple other ones as well. So who knows? We'll just have to see what the year brings us. Anything
It's
either
off to
one
an
of you?
I was gonna say it's off to an awesome start as it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's great.
It's pretty epic, yeah. Oh my goodness. Any one of those that you've mentioned, it'll make
Yes.
the year will be really amazing. So awesome.
Yes, it will be truly outrageous.
Truly outrageous.
Yes. Oh God, I can't believe I almost sounded like Aquaman right then. Oh God, Brave and the Bold. Jim did it better. Anyway, that's it. Show's over, Synergy. We will catch you next time.
When a star's gonna climb, watch it try for the prize. We're already on the rise. Whoa, this is only the beginning, only the beginning, only the beginning, only the beginning, only the beginning. There's music in the air, music's in the making, music in the air, something big is breaking. Wow, look around at the sight and sound. Did we take you by surprise that you can't believe your eyes? Well, this is only the beginning, only the beginning. Now's the time when our stars gonna climb. Watch us try for the prize. We're already on the rise. Well, this is only the beginning, only the beginning, only the beginning, only the beginning, only the beginning. Wow, look around at the sight and sound. Did we take you by surprise that you can't believe your eyes? Well, this is only the beginning, only the beginning. Now's the time when our stars gonna climb. Watch us try for the prize. We're already on the rise. Well, this is only the beginning, 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 only the beginning.